somehow I have managed to avoid listening to Fontaines D.C. for my entire life, and by that I mean since 2019. I think that's when their first album came out. Either way, it's not like an intentional thing. I've not been trying to avoid them, but they've just never crossed paths with me at the exact right moment, you know? Like, I've been trawling through YouTube looking for a video or a song to do a video about, and I've seen them come past. I think it's, you know, there's the thumbnail for one of their songs where the guy's got like the scar on his forehead, and I think he's got pigtails, and I'm not gonna lie, I think foolishly, without looking into them at all, I just assumed it was like some bizarre gangster rap or something like that. Either way, I'm just kind of like, meh. But I keep on seeing that name now starting to come up with like people saying really nice things about them. Like, there's a young lad at work who will not shut up about them. And I think I saw a quote from, I'm sorry if this is wrong, I think it was Elton John or some other classic rock legend who said basically the only band that is currently doing interesting new stuff is Fontaines D.C. And yeah, I don't know, the stars seem to have aligned. They seem to have released a brand new music video for a song called Bug, because I did manage to miss the album, whatever this is from, which came out a couple of months ago, I think. But the thumbnail for this one grabbed me again. They managed to just make every single one of these thumbnails look like grotty and horrible, but I know. I noticed Will Poulter in the front, and I was like, that's kind of a good pull. So, no, I don't mean Will Poulter, I mean Barry Keoghan, the other guy with the strange face. So I thought, why not? This is a good time to figure out if I like Fontaines D.C. before. I didn't even know that they were Irish up until just now when I had a very, very cursory Wikipedia just to check and see what kind of genre they were meant to be defined as. I know kind of defining genres, especially on Wikipedia, is sort of a bullshit thing these days, but apparently they're like post-punk. I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued. I maybe will have an entirely new world opened up for me. So yeah, let's jump into Bug as my very, very first taste of Fontaines D.C. Let's see if it's the last. I can already tell that that's Barry. Just don't let him near a bath. Ew. Okay, I immediately quite like the vibe that was not expecting to be hit with acoustics. I was going to say it's just fun seeing Barry Keoghan always playing like really, really mental people. And in fact, that big tattoo on the back makes me think a little bit of Silence of the Lambs. But anyway. Oh, he's Irish as well, isn't he? That makes sense. And I guess after Saltburn, he's also had quite a lot of practice dancing around without much clothes on. Okay. It's a really nice set of instruments they've got going on there straight away. The acoustic, I don't know what it is about how it's recorded, but it's very warm and quite sort of encompassing. And then they've got this bass doing these like slides going, I think they're just running octaves. I think it's just boom, boom, but it's really kind of, it almost feels like a revving up engine or something like that, but it's definitely building up some anticipation of what's about to happen. I can feel the explosion coming. And his voice so far, I know I've only listened to like 20 seconds of it, but he's quite emotive. I like it. There's the accent poking through. I was right about them all being like kind of grotty. It just seems like kind of like, I don't know, train spotting-y. Oh, here we go. Lovely. I love the explosion of energy. I like that we've now got a backing vocal coming in there too, just hitting that slightly higher harmony. The melody's not really changed, but that's fine because the rest of the song has kind of built up some urgency, which is sort of letting this next verse come through. So far, really liking what I'm hearing. Just like, I swear every time anyone puts Barry Keoghan into something, they're like, how can we make him look as mental as is humanly possible? I know, get a giant millipede tattoo that starts at his neck and finishes on his hands. Cool, I'm up for it. He's come out of nowhere as well, that guy. I know he was in like Killing of the Sacred Deer and stuff like that, which I've not actually seen, but it seems like he's gone from 0 to 100, and now he's here with Fontaines D.C. They're sort of reaching their climaxes simultaneously. Pardon the pun. Fair. Ooh, I really like the way that chorus went. He took a different tone there. He sort of like softened it up and had far less vocal fry. Really let it sit in his upper register for that second half, and it made a nice contrast because the rest of it's been quite almost conversational with it. And I like the change in the chords there as well. It kind of felt it was about time, you know, that the song was demanding for some variation, and there it is. What's with the frog? So it was interesting because there's a lot of musicians from various parts of the UK that aren't England, where if you didn't tell me that they were Scottish, Irish, Welsh, I wouldn't know. Like Franz Ferdinand, I don't think his accent really carries through into his singing. Same with like Hosier, lots of musicians like that, but he absolutely sings with that accent right front and center, and it's actually quite nice and refreshing. Almost makes me think of the Cranberries or something. You know what it kind of reminds me of? This is probably well off for anyone else, but I'm getting some of the more recent Libertines album in this one as well. The way that the sort of like meandery electric guitar in the middle is not really being used to further melody. It's kind of more soundscape-esque. It's very effective because the acoustic is really carrying forth the chord progression, and then the drums are actually like they're not complicated, but they're really doing a lot of work here. And then just got this kind of like almost ethereal sounding electric in the background. It's really nice, and I was just trying to think of what else I've heard that in, and it was the most recent Libertines album. It's the most recent thing that ticks in my head on that one. That's a lot of tats. I really like this chorus. He does like nice vocalizations in there too. The whole thing kind of softens up. The approach to the backing vocals just across the board, and this is wonderfully subtle. Classic dropout section, nice. Ah, and then we get an end. Nice, okay.
So sad. These are the moments that we talk about, right? These are the moments.
Yes, Barry, they are the moments. That was really, really good. I actually really, really liked that song. It itched to scratch that not a lot of music at the moment is itching. I see where people are coming from on that one, actually. God, I'm going to have to go and apologise to the lad at work. I've been shitting on him for so long for no reason. Yeah, no, the approach to timbres, the sort of emotion in the voice, the way that the two guitars are balanced out, and like maybe not in the way you'd have thought. It's like most of the time it's just that acoustic just plowing forward, giving it that momentum, and then the very, very charismatic voice, very clever, very subtle backing vocals, which I liked a lot. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the structure was about as whatever you're going to expect. I mean, the song was 3 minutes 25. There's only so much you can do with that amount of time, but it doesn't matter because it definitely didn't feel like it dragged. It did sort of more or less repeats itself. I think it was basically his verse, chorus, bridge, chorus at a glance, but it doesn't matter because it absolutely, the way that it built up that urgency, and the ending was clever as well. I probably could have gone for another chorus repeat on that one, honestly, but instead they kind of snatched it away. But that is an equally valid tactic. I've said it before, but I do think there is something to be said for not overshowing your hand and not overstaying your welcome. If you want to be cynical about it, it's often just because it encourages repeat play. If I'm honest, you would put out a 3.5 minute song that's got a couple of moments in it that are really, really fantastic. Somebody might be more inclined to listen to that 3 times than 1 time on a 4 minute song. So, I fully get that, but no, that was really good. The music video was interesting. It was pretty well shot. Like I like the sort of home footage style of that. Obviously, I wasn't able to absorb all the lyrics, and maybe it was more specifically about the lyrics because it seemed like it was mostly Barry Keoghan like living the life and being good to his daughter, but looking gruff and having friends that drink beer, but also being tender with his wife. Also, there's a frog. Never quite got the context of the frog, but it was a nice creative decision. I mean, hey, if you can get a celebrity of his caliber to come in and be in your music videos, why wouldn't you? It doesn't feel like there was loads of narrative, but maybe, again, there's just something I'm missing in the lyrics that will stick out to me after repeated listens, because best believe there will be repeated listens. I'm going to have to go and listen to this album now. Perfect, because I've been compiling a list and starting to think about albums of the year. I'll probably make a video about it this month or maybe next month, and I'm glad that I've listened to this now because it gives me a chance to add Fontaines D.C. into that mix. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for listening. If you are a big Fontaines D.C. fan and you want to see me listen to some more, maybe the same way that I did with some of the older 21 Pilots songs, let me know in the comments what other fantastic Fontaines songs there are. If you give me a few, 4 or 5, maybe I'll go through and have a little listen to their back catalogue, because I really, really like that song. I don't know how typical that is of their overall sound, but that particular song I really like. So yeah, recommendations in the comments if you wouldn't mind. Other than that, like, share, subscribe, all of that fantastic stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.